In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, one God, Amen. Today is the third Sunday of the blessed month of Hatur, and the Lord is teaching us a very, very important lesson in Christianity. And these conditions, or these three discipleship conditions that the Lord has mentioned, reminds me with prerequisites. If you are applying for medical school or law school or whatever is the school that you are applying for, and you are working on your grades and working on your classes, and you find, for example, this school, no, there is more prerequisites in this school than in that school. Some grad school, they request a GRE score higher than others, and so forth. So there are prerequisites. If you are not fulfilling the prerequisites, even if you kept applying and applying and applying 10 times, there is something wrong that is missing, and the system is not allowing your application to be going through, because simply you are missing prerequisites. And the prerequisites that the Lord has told us today are those conditions of discipleship. 3 conditions in Luke chapter 14 are very, very important to look at. And what is really amazing is that the Lord Himself is saying that you cannot. There is a difference between, I was speaking with one of the kids, and I was telling him, which video game that you play? And he told me, Minecraft. I told him, okay, so you are very good in Minecraft? He told me, yes, I'm very good in Minecraft. And he told me, okay. So I asked him, if I'm sitting with you in front of the computer and we are trying to play Minecraft, and I haven't played Minecraft before, which is true, I never played it, and you are guiding me in the game, and every time you are pressing me, press the red button, and I'm telling you, no, you don't understand anything, I know better. I know better, I know better, I know better. How you are going to feel. He told me, very frustrated and annoyed. You don't understand anything about the game. Why you are not obeying me? I told him, this is exactly the situation of your parents. Because also the parents are more knowledgeable in the game of life than you. This is a fact. They have been playing the game of life much more than you. Just obey them. Obey them simply because their interest and their goal is to make you succeed, and to make you do better, and to make you advance. It's not to control you. So, and this was the only way that it clicked with him about obeying. And it is true. Some of the kids, and definitely many of the youth here are more knowledgeable in many things than we are. So it is very important to return back and ask ourselves the conditions of discipleship. And the risky part is God is saying you cannot. So the first condition is do not love more. Do not love anyone, mom or dad, brother or sister, wife or husband, kids, boys or girls, friends, and even yourself, more than God. And the Lord is saying that you cannot be my disciple. If God is saying you can't, then we can't. You don't go to the commandment of God and say, but you are saying, but the Lord is saying that you can do this, and I will manage, I will love my kids more than I love God, and I will be a disciple of God. Or I will love my family more than I love God, or, and we keep nagging and we keep negotiating. But if God is saying you can't, it's simple as that. Take it with a simple heart and just obey. So the 3 conditions are, if anyone So the three conditions are number one, do not love anyone more. Number two is bearing the cross and following God. And the third is forsake all possessions. If anyone comes to me and does not hate his father, mother, wife, children, brother, sister, and yes, his own life, he cannot be my disciple. God is not telling you to hate your parents. This is, I hate you. No. This is not what the Bible is teaching us. All the fathers of the church said that you love more. That you love your father or your mother or your wife or your children or your brothers or your sisters more than you love God, and even you love yourself more than you love God. This is, so if we are in this phase, God is telling us, you cannot be my disciple. And the second condition is, whoever does not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. Another cannot be my disciple. And the third condition, or the third prerequisite, so likewise whoever of you does not forsake all, and that he has cannot be my disciple. And we will stop at each one of those conditions because they are very important. They are very important for us. Do you have anyone who loves God more than his wife or his kids or his siblings, or anyone in the Bible who loved God more than he loved his kids or loved more than he loved his wife? Abraham, where? When this was manifested? In Genesis 22. In Genesis 22, the Lord, and when you look to the commandment of God to Abraham, is unbelievable. Because the Lord is telling Abraham, the Lord is telling Abraham, and now it came to pass after these things that God tested Abraham and said to him, Abraham, and he said, here I am. And then he said, take now your son and your only Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah and offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains of which I shall tell you. Take your son, your only son, Isaac, whom you love. And Isaac is not only the loved son, is the son that Abraham has been waiting for almost 30 years. That God will fulfill his promise to him. And God told him that through Isaac, all the nations will be blessed, and your descendant will be like the sands of the sea and the stars in the sky. Does it add up? But Abraham rose early in the morning and saddled his donkey and took two of the young men and Isaac his son and split the wood for the burnt offering and arose and went to the place of which God had told him. Fast forward, and then Abraham lifted up and God and Isaac told Abraham, spoke to Abraham his father and said, my father. And he said, here I am, my son. The answer of Abraham is always, here I am. Who was I? With God and even with his son. It's unbelievable, respectful and honoring response. And then he said, look, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering? I have seen you, Abraham, my father. Isaac is saying, I have seen you many times offering sacrifices. And I have been part of this for many, many years. But now, you are telling me that you are going to offer sacrifice. He is just questioning. Very, very simple, very logical question. And so look, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering? And Abraham said, my son, God will provide. And this is, do you know the name of this place is what? The name of the place that Abraham offered Isaac as a sacrifice. What is the name of this place? God provides. God provides. And God always provides. The mindset of Abraham in that time, if you fast forward all the way to Hebrews, St. Paul is saying that Abraham had faith that after he is going to offer Isaac as a sacrifice, God is going to raise him up from death. This was the belief of Abraham. That's why he said, you know what, you are promising that this is the promised son. From him you are going to give us all the blessings. Okay, please, if you are on your phone or texting or Instagramming or doing whatever, please stop, because I can see you. I don't want to call the names, but I promise you I can see you. The devil planned for us not to come to church. And if you come to church, to distract you so as not you will learn anything in church. And if you did learn, it will make you self-righteous to start judging others. And if you didn't, so if you passed the first trap of not going to church, you went, not getting distracted, not feeling self-righteous, it will plan for you something to fight about or to gossip or to lose the blessing of the church, especially on Sunday. It's very, very common. So please focus so as not to give عشان كده St. Paul قال لا نعطي إبليس مكانا. We don't give the devil a place or a space. So Abraham told him God will provide, and God always provides. And Abraham stretched out his hand and took the knife to slay his son. And here Abraham is making the decision, 100% taking the decision by offering Isaac with 100% assurity that he is going to obey what God is telling him, and then God will solve the problem the way he wants to solve it. And in this moment, exactly in this moment, when Abraham offered Isaac with 100% with his intention, لما قدم إبراهيم قدم إسحاق 100% بنية إبراهيم, with the full heart, full intention, that the angel of the Lord called him from heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. He's just calling him, stop, don't do it. And he said to him, here I am. And he said, do not lay your hand on the lad or do anything to him, for now I know that you fear God, since you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me. And then Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and there was behind him was a ram caught in a thicket by its thorn. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered it up as a burnt offering. And Abraham called the name of the place, the Lord will provide. As it is said in this day, in the mountain that the Lord provided. If we love the spouse, kids, brothers and sisters more than God, the Lord is telling us, unfortunately, you cannot be my disciple. It is very tough. So what I will do, what I can do if I know maybe there is someone whom I love more than God. What I do, if I'm in this setting, there is someone whom I love more than God. One of the very important things to do is just bring this situation in front of God in your prayers. Acknowledge this and tell God, you know what, I realized that I love this person more than you. I realized that I'm going to leave the church and get married to someone, even non-believer, because I fell in love with this person. I realized that this person is more important to me in my life than you, and please give me that I will love you the way Abraham loved you. So the first condition, don't love more. Don't love anyone, even yourself, more. The second condition, bearing the cross. And whoever does not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. Another condition or another prerequisite the Lord is mentioning very clearly. Carrying the cross. If you look to someone who carried the cross out of nowhere, in the Gospel of St. Luke, chapter 23, and now as they led our Lord Jesus Christ away, they laid hold of a certain man, Simon, a Cyrenian, Sam'an al-Qayrawi, who was coming from the country. Simon of Cyrene is working, a farmer, doing his business, finished his working day on Friday, finished his week, completely exhausted, returning back to his family to spend the rest of the week and rest on the Sabbath day. Out of nowhere, they saw him, they catched him, who was coming from the country, and on him they laid the cross that he might bear it after Jesus. And they forced him to carry the cross out of nowhere. And it is always amazing the response of Simon of Cyrene. He never complained, maybe because of fear, maybe because he was stuck, maybe because of many reasons. It was not mentioned, at least in the scripture. But he carried the cross that is not his. Has nothing to do with it. But what happened when he carried the cross that is not his? Whom he got in a relationship with? Christ himself. And when you carry the cross that is not yours, you are bonding and you are attaching and you are coming in contact, a deep, strong relationship with God in the time that you are carrying something that is not yours. How many homes has been broken and families has been destroyed because everyone's saying it is your mistake, it is your fault, it is your fault, it is your fault, no, it is your fault, it is your fault, and endless, your fault. طب the Lord الذي بلا خطية صار خطية لأجلنا لكي نصير نحن بر الله فيه. The one who is without sin became a sin for us so as we will be the righteousness of God in him. The one who is without sin took the sin of us. And I did something wrong, but I blame my wife. My wife is doing something wrong and she is blaming me, or I am blaming the kids, or we are blaming each other, and we start this blame game, not honoring or not thinking, why not to carry the cross of others? Why not to say, go ahead, it is my sin. It is my sin that this is happening. And in this moment that you carry the sins of others and you took the blame, not to justify something that is unrighteous, I'm not saying this, but to take the blame on yourself and to say, you know what, it is my sin. And I will tell you a sin that all of us are falling short of and all of us will confess with. Have you ever felt that you have prayed enough? Have you ever felt that you have prayed enough? I'm testifying definitely not. At least this is a sin that you can confess and say, maybe I didn't pray for my spouse enough. Maybe I didn't pray for my kids enough. Maybe I didn't pray for the church enough. Maybe I didn't pray for those people enough. But in order to go in this blame game and defend yourself in this endless self-defense, because the ego is taking over you and your life. This is endless. And this is where everything is broken and everything is falling apart. When I start blaming others and I don't take responsibility of my sins, or I don't take responsibility of the mistakes of others. In the Old Testament, an unbelievable story of a lady, the most wise lady in the Old Testament. Do you know her name? Abigail. And Abigail was married to, you know the name of her husband? Nabal. والكتاب المقدس يقول عليه أحمق. He is a foolish guy. The most wise lady in the Old Testament is married to a foolish guy. And he escalated things with David. We'll not go to the story. And David was extremely enraged. He took 400 of the people who are with him and he said, we are going to kill Nabal today? Who heard Abigail, the most wise lady in the Old Testament? And she said, let me have a plan to subside or to absorb this anger of David. She sent him many, many gifts. Then she sent him servants. Then she was extremely rich. She went riding on a donkey or a horse. A donkey. She humbled herself. And once she met David, she did a matanya to him and she told him, it is my sin. She told him, it is my sin. It is not Nabal's sin. It is my sin. I have sinned. An unbelievable situation that saved the whole family and saved the whole life of others. But when we go in the mode of, it is your sin, it is your sin, it is your sin, it is your mistake, with no apology, with no taking responsibility for the mistakes, unfortunately, this is ending nowhere. So the first condition, what is the first condition? Do not love more. The second condition is bear the cross. And bearing the cross, like Simon of Cyrene, he didn't do anything. And he carried the cross of someone who is without sin. Just to give us an opportunity to know that when we carry the sins of others, it saves a lot of the families and the drama and the issues and the arguments and the problems. The last is forsake all. So likewise, whoever of you does not forsake all that he has cannot be my disciple. When we keep or stay attached to the things that we have and we don't want to let go, it is very obvious in money. And I will tell you a true story that happened. 3 brothers, 2 adult brothers, and the younger one, the third one, we call him the third one, or the youngest, was 12, 13 years old. Their dad is extremely rich. He passed away. He left him, the 3 of them, a huge amount of money. And after the burial and after the funeral and everything, they called the priest of the church and they told Abuna, you be with us as you will be a witness that this amount of money will be distributed equivalently on the 3 of the brothers. And because there is a little younger brother, he is minor and so he cannot be in charge of this money. So we'll keep the money with us and let us document this in writing and let us have an official agreement. The younger brother said, who cares about documentation? We are 3 brothers, we love each other, and our dad has put a lot of emphasis on the love of each other, so we don't need to write anything. Everything went fine, and they were celebrating this agreement that even didn't go through any documentation or any written agreement. Years pass, and the older kids, the 2 brothers, the older brothers said, you know what, our younger brother does not understand anything, and he will not be doing anything with this money, and we need this money more than him. So pretty much they split the money of the younger brother between them, and they took it. When the younger brother became older and became of age, he went to his brothers and he told them the agreement that we agreed, please give me the money. And the 2 brothers told him, who cares? You go do whatever. There is no documentation, we never agreed on anything, and this is our money, and we're not giving you anything. The younger brother started being very, very upset, and he couldn't believe what he heard. He went to the priest is still alive, and he brought Abuna, and Abuna told, now the scene is Abuna, the 2 brothers on one side, and the younger brother is telling them, where is my right of the money? They kept yelling and screaming and putting the younger brother down. And they told him, there is no documentation, there is no proof, there is no money. The younger brother started crying, and he told them, I am crying and I'm really, really upset, not because of the money, but because that there is no love between us anymore. And everyone is taking the things that is not his and counting it as his and stealing. And where is the love that was between us? And he was almost crying all the time. Then he stopped, and Abuna started defending the younger brother. He cried, and he stopped the fight, and he told the brothers, forgive me, my brothers, forgive me, my brothers. I will buy heaven with this money. I don't want the money from you. I will buy heaven with this money. And he left. And this was during the week. On Saturday night, something happened, major happened, and the younger brother went in the Sunday morning telling him, Abuna, St. Mary came to me in a dream, and she told me that heaven had heard my statement, that I have bought heaven with this money. And she is telling me that heaven is ready for me. Go tomorrow, take communion, and be ready. And the younger brother took communion, returned back to home, he took a nap, and he departed in this day. And the story was announced in the funeral of the son, the younger son. And Abuna told all the story, and how St. Mary appeared and told him that your prayer has been accepted, and you have done the right decision. Tell me about the feelings of the brothers after this and what the money is going to do for them. The problem is we keep holding fast to money, and we keep pressing hard, and we keep pushing people, and we keep fighting, and we keep putting people down, and even for a penny. It has nothing to do with whether you have money or you don't have money. The greediness and the love of money is the root of all evil. It has nothing to do whether you have or not. Because you'll have a farmer whom someone took a few Egyptian pounds from him, and he's killing the other farmer. And someone who is extremely rich and also is escalating things and might kill someone for also few amount of dollars, or 100,000, doesn't matter. The value does not matter. It is the love of money and the attachment of money. That's why the Lord is saying, forsake all. If we are not going to leave, and this is not a call for the people in the congregation, okay, go and give all your money to the poor and live in the monastery. This is not the message of the church. The message is, are we attached to the money that we have or not? Are we attached to the things that we have? The problem is in the attachment and the trust in the money more than the trust of or trusting in God. May God give me and give each one of us those, to be aware of those three conditions. This icon of St. Macarius always amazes me when he is standing doing like this. Why he is making his hands like this? Why he's putting his hands like this? For we brought nothing to this world, and it is certain that we carry nothing out. لأننا لم ندخل العالم بشيء ومن المؤكد أننا لم نخرج من العالم بشيء, because we cannot take anything with us. And the second reason for he is saying this, that he is not attached. He is not attached. He is not holding fast to something more than God, and he is forsaking all for the sake of God, to whom is the glory forever and ever. Amen.